live. We are live. Good morning, sir. We are live. We are live. Wow, wow. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be doing this with you. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming for this lunch. God bless you. How is your stay in Ghana? You've been touring everywhere, from
Yeah,
Manchester to here and here. It's not really.
yeah. Earlier in the summer, I did a trip of West Europe. I did a tour of Paris, Brussels. I was also at Dortmund. Went to Amsterdam. Went to what's the name? Okay, okay. I was also at Casablanca. Uh, but now we are doing a tour of West Africa, Republic, Ghana. We'll also be in Togo tomorrow again, checking the waterways of Togo. Yeah, it's good to see the world.
I'm so I'm so happy. Like, people will be wondering how is he able to travel and yet his business is working, functioning in a world where if you don't stay in your business, you'll be out of business. But yet you are traveling, but your business is still functioning without your presence.
You can
That's
only
really
be
big.
out of business when you are not available, when there are no structures. When there are structures, you can see the world, you can move around. Yeah.
You're very correct. So today what we are doing here is the launch of Creation City Group. And I'm so glad to have you here honor my invitation. God bless you for that. You've always been there for me whenever I'm doing it. You've always showed up for me. Thank you so much, sir. But before you start sharing your story, many have been saying, Who is this king that we're having here? They don't know who they are watching now. I would like you to use 1 minute to just introduce yourself perfectly the way you used to do it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. My name is Ashimolowo Ademuyiwa. I am a university lecturer. I'm a lecturer at Lagos State University of Education in Lagos. I'm equally chairman Mabis Good Homes Limited, a company that is focused on helping low and middle income earner achieve their dream of becoming landlord, considering that the housing deficit in Nigeria is about 30 million. And out of that housing deficit, you will realize that more than 99% of those without a house are low and middle income earners. So we try to bridge that gap and help them to achieve their dream of becoming a landlord where they can where they can afford. So for us, who is a low income earner? A low income earner is anybody that earns less than $500. If you earn less than $300, you are poor in a month, which is $10 per day. So a low income earner is anybody who earns less than $500 dollars in a month. So you become a middle income earner if you are earning. Oh, I mean, you tell you are a low income earner. You are a low income earner. You are a middle income earner if you are earning less than a million naira monthly in Nigeria, and that is just about 700 to 750 US dollars in a month. So we try to help them to bridge that gap, show them land with good titles they can buy in areas they can afford, And like I've always said, it is human beings that brings up the value of land. If 3,000 people go into a bush and they invest about 10 million naira each to build their homes over a period of 5 years, we would have built an economy of about 15 billion. So when you build an economy of about 15 billion, where in each family you are still able to spend like five 100,000 in a month, when you multiply that by 3,000 people who now have children, that takes it into about 12,000 people. We create a masterpiece. So that's what we are doing with Mabis Good Rooms. And also, we are bridging the gap of hostel shortage in our University of Learning. So we have set out to develop 1,000 units of room serving hostel that can house about 2,000 students in our institution of learning. So that's what we have been doing.
That is really, really, really big. You are making impacts. You are making impacts in different places. That is huge. That is huge. When I saw what you're doing, I was like, God, this man is incredible. What you are doing is overwhelming me. Everything you do, your passion, your zeal, your mindset, everything, I question it. I'm like, wow. And it's not somebody that is 70 years old, a very young person, a father, a husband, family oriented, but yet he is doing well, impacting lives. I saw what you did in your hostel when you you invited Dr. Olumide Emmanuel to come and launch it. He prayed and he did everything. I was like, wow, this is big. There are a lot of people there. You made all of those places become very developed, and people are now rushing to that place. Students are like, wow, who is this man? So I want to appreciate you for that. So now people here watching want to know your story. I decided to do this because I want people to get more knowledge, to be inspired. If they are not
Okay.
inspired, they will inspire.
Okay. Like I said earlier, I'm in Ghana. We are going on a tour. So we are going towards Akosumbu right now. We want to go and see the dam there. So I will just want to do this quickly in 15 minutes. You see, many of us we started our lives. Many of us we started our lives um, from end income. So if you start from end income, you grow to that point where you can begin to take out of your end income and build a portfolio uh, that can be referred to as passive income. So one of the things we did was we leveraged on our jobs and we were able to create a passive income. And what did we do? We took our out of class time and used it to serve people. While we were serving, we were selling from some other companies. We were saving our money. So for us, that was passive income. So as we were saving, we were suspending gratification. We make sure we're able to tame our taste, because if you do not tame your taste will make you your taste will make you tasteless at a point in time in your life. So we have to tame our taste as we grow, and because we're able to tame our taste, we're able to save, and that took us into the realm of what I call the daily income. The daily income. You see, because if you are from a poor home, I can tell you less than 1% of the society will be, and that is the reason. That is the reason why you must ensure that you fight the battle of your life. Let me quickly say this: the poor don't want you to leave them. and the rich don't want you to join them. And that is why you must realize that this is a battle. And the first thing you need to do on this journey is that you need to conquer self. You need to conquer yourself. Conquer yourself. You need to conquer your taste. You need to conquer your appetite. You need to determine when you spend money. Because if you are coming from the end income, to move from the end income to develop the passive income, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of discipline, it takes a lot of learning, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of discipline, and it takes a lot of learning. And that's why it is very, very important. That's why it is very, very important that you intentionally embark on this journey. So I intentionally embarked on that journey of suspended gratification. If you do not suspend gratification and you are from a poor home, you are not going to get to that place of prosperity. The journey to the place of prosperity is an intentional journey, and I can tell you it is a road less traveled. And why is it a road less traveled? Many people are not willing to conquer their taste. They are not willing to suspend gratification. So you continue to collect your salary and you finish spending your salary faster than you making it. You take loan and spend that money on activities that does not have the compounding nature, activities that does not compound. You borrow loan to do party, you borrow loan to buy a car. So when you take loans to buy a car, it is not compounding. So if you keep taking loan to compound, taking loan to do things that does not have the compounding uh, nature, then showing up at the place of prosperity becomes almost impossible. It becomes almost impossible. And that is why I said the journey of life is about going through 5 stages. The first stage is the stage of end income. The second stage is the stage of passive income. The second stage is stage of passive income, while the third stage is stage of daily income. So what I did was I moved from end income to passive income by serving others. I started selling for some organizations and I was getting my commission and I was saving it. I was saving it. You remember that your dream belongs to you alone. You cannot blame people who refuse to invest in you when what you have not invested in yourself. The world will not invest in you what you have not invested in yourself. The world will not invest it in you. And this is why it is important that you learn the act of suspending gratification. You need to suspend gratification. So when you move from passive income, you take yourself to that point where you can get paid daily. All the billionaires of this world, they get paid daily. How do you get paid daily? What product will people buy from you every day? Why would people send money to you every day, every day, every day? I love daily income. Daily income are transformational. When you get paid daily, you get excited, you get energy, because the energy you put out determines the energy that comes back to you. You get energy. So from daily income, we now go to what we call forever money. Forever money. How do you move your daily income into a point where you can earn that money for the rest of your life? Forever money is very, very critical on my journey, because one of the things real estate did for me was that it helped me to tame my appetite, because there was no way I was going to get somebody who will invest that money in me. So obviously, I have to save for it. So it tamed my appetite. So from forever money, you can now go into that space of creating what we call no thinking is required income. There are some income people make all over the world that it does not require thinking. No thinking is required income. But I tell you, it's a journey. It depends on the level where you are. You know, we all start from end income, we go to passive income, go to daily income, go to forever income, and get to that point where you can be what we call no thinking is required money. So it is a journey. My journey has been that of suspending gratification. It has been that of immense discipline. It has been that of clarity that is very, very obvious, like the palm of my hand. I knew we're embarking on a journey, and there is a price to pay, and the journey is going to be a lonely journey, because it is the road less traveled. To move from coming from a state of being poor to getting to that place of prosperity, it is a lonely journey, and you must always be ready. You must always be ready to deal with that journey. But on your journey, you are going to encounter some things. The question is where you are today. There are 5 things that will determine whether you go on that journey or you will not. There are 5 things that will determine whether you'll be successful on that journey or not. The first thing is your environment. Where you want to go, is your environment supporting it? Is the environment supporting where you want to go? At a time, I had to move away from some kind of friends who were not going on the journey I was embarking on. For the fact that you and your friends are in the same car or the same bus does not mean you are going to the same place. If you are in, if you are, for example, you are at Aja. If you are at Aja, for example, and you are in a bus going to CMS from Aja, for the fact that you and somebody are in the same bus going to CMS does not mean you are going to the same place. Some people's final destination may just be Chevron, while some people's final destination may be London. Some people's final destination may be CMS, while some people's final destination may be China. But it does not mean that they cannot be in the same bus at the beginning of the journey. You need to look at your environment. Is your present environment supporting, is your present environment supporting where you want to go to? So you need to fight with your environment. Secondly, you need to look at your skill set. Is your skill set sufficient enough to go to that place you want to go to? As a lecturer, on my journey to becoming an estate developer, trying to build legacy, I knew the skill set was short. I knew my skill set would not take me to where I wanted to be. And that was why I paid heavily on mentoring. I paid heavily to be in some class. I paid heavily to belong to some people. I paid heavily so that some people would look at me and call me by my first name. You know, I needed some kind of people to call me by my first name. They should know me. I had to do something serious about my environment. Even when you may not be relocating, but you can be creating a new environment for yourself. When my skill set was short, I needed to go and find those skills. I needed to pay for them. That was what took me to the likes of Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. That was what took me to the likes of Innocent Musa. That was what took me to the likes of Pastor Sam Adeyemi. Learning, and learning. You must keep learning in order to improve your skill set. Then the third thing that you need to work on is your behavior. Can your current behavior take you to a place of prosperity? Can your present behavior, the way you handle money, the way you handle pressure, your emotional intelligence, are you disciplined enough for the place of prosperity? So I worked, like I said, I have to work on 5 things. The first one was my what? Was my environment. The second one was my skill set. The third one was my what? Was my behavior. I looked at my behavior and I told myself the a brutal honesty. If I want to go to the place of prosperity, these must be expunged from my life. You know those toxic behaviors that are not going to allow you to go into that place of prosperity. I needed to sit down and look at this behavior, dealt with this, dealt with that, dealt with it on my journey. Because there's something in Lagos they call money misroad. You can be lucky that nature smiled on you. When nature smiles on you, what you do with that money is more dependent on your behavior. In that book by Ansel Morgan, Psychology of Money, he said at the end of the day, everything will depend on your behavior. Your behavior determines what you do with your money even more than your skill set. Now you need to upgrade your behavior. There are behaviors of people going to place of prosperity. Then the fourth one was my identity. I needed to commit a personality suicide. I needed to commit that identity suicide. I knew I need to transform into a different person entirely. As a lecturer, I was willing to submit under people who are not even as educated as I am, but the results of their life is saying something different. I needed to stoop low. I did not look at myself and said, a homie. I have seen people who keep saying a homie. I said, my friend Charlie, you are earning less than ₦1 million and you are saying you are old. Baba, you are a fraction. A homie. So today we see people who are more interested in their prestige than prosperity. So they become prestigiously poor. You know, uh, this is what I call profession for fame. You know, I looked at myself as a lecturer. When I saw the numbers real estate was going to deliver, I committed that identity suicide. I went after it. I dropped all my ego. I dropped all the massaging. Eh, that this is real. Real money is real. Real money is real. So I needed to deal with that identity. I dealt with the identity seriously. I left that prestigious identity of being a lecturer to become a realtor, to enter the bush, to deal with people I naturally should not be on the same table with. So I needed to deal with my identity. Like I said, there are 5 things. Don't forget, there are 5 things you need to deal with. What is the first one? Your environment, your skill set, your behavior, your identity, and finally, my vision. My vision. What was my vision? It was simple. I just want to help 250,000 low and middle income earners to achieve their dream of becoming a landlord. And I want to develop 1,000 units of room, self-contained hostel. You see, you need to have a vision that looks almost impossible. You need you need to raise your vision and begin to walk in that direction. When I set that goal that by year 2035, that we are going to be building by year 2030, sorry, we're going to be building 1,000 units of room self-contained hostel. It looks as if only you did Nigeria, where you won't see the money, you'll be done with it. But today we are gradually moving. We may not be yet where we want to be, but we are no longer where we used to be. So it is a journey. Dangote set an he set a vision to own a refinery, even when he could not afford it. But today, Dangote refinery is working. So you need to set the vision for your life that you want to move from point A, I don't like, to point B, I want to. And in the journey, in that journey, there's a conveyor belt that will take you from point A to point B. And if you are committed, because many people are interested in their vision, but they are not committed. If you are committed, I tell you, it's a lonely journey, but it's going to be worth it at the end of the day. It is going to be worth at the end of the day. Just embark on that vision. Just embark on it. It's going to be worth it at the end of the day. Pay the price. Pay the price. Pay the price because there is a price to be paid in order to get to that place of prosperity. And I tell you, the journey to prosperity is a tough journey, it's a difficult journey, it's a lonely journey. But I tell you, at the end of the day, it is going to be worthwhile. Don't forget, I said earlier that we all started our life from end income to passive income, from passive income to daily income, from daily income to forever income, and you can go ahead and do the last one that we call no thinking is required income. Those were the journey I embarked on, and we are still on the journey. The journey is going to be a very, very long one. It's a far journey, and we are going, we are moving, we are not stopping. And never forget, he is the place of the spiritual. The spiritual controls the physical. I have said it, children of the poor cannot afford not to pay tithe. You cannot afford it. Not paying tithe is too expensive for children of the poor. The spiritual controls the physical. There are spiritual dictates that leads to prosperity. You need to learn it. You need to believe in it. You need to move. You need to move because when you move, you will get results. When you move, you will get results. When you move, you will get results. Let me conclude by telling you, by saying this very early in your life. If you do not run the race, if you do not run the race of prestige, you will run the race of comedy. If you do not run the race of prestige at the beginning of your life, you will run the race of comedy. And that is why it is important that you begin to set that target. Paste your room, put it everywhere where you want to go to, and give it a date. I tell you, it is possible. It is possible. It is possible. One of the major problems we keep having is the fact that we set our goals yearly. So we overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can do in 10 years. So try and set your goal maybe in decades. In 2006, I looked at my first daughter and I asked myself, what is this girl going to meet in my hand? What is this girl going to meet in my hand? What legacy am I going to hand over to this girl? A very, very pretty 1 month old baby was staring me in the eyes, and I was looking at her and I was asking myself, and on that day became the first day of the rest of my life. I gave myself 10 years to fight poverty, and I fought poverty to stand still. By 2016, I had defeated mental poverty, even though I have not totally defeated physical poverty. So from 2006 to 2016, I fought poverty to stand still and I defeated poverty. So from 2016, I set another goal. By 2026, I will become prosperous. I will become prosperous. I would have defeated poverty and I would have entered into prosperity. And 2016 is just a year. 2026 is just a year away. We have defeated poverty and we are gradually embarking on that journey of prosperity. Whether you like it or not, anything you do today, you are a data for the future. Whether you like it or not, anything you do today, you are a data for the future. What you do today will determine whether your children, whether your children will respect you for old age or will respect you for wisdom. What you are doing today that you are young will determine whether your children will respect you for old age and biology
For
or
old
will
age and
respect you
biology, or will respect
or
you,
will respect you
or
for
will respect
wisdom.
you for wisdom.
Wow, wow, wow. This is
At the end of your life,
At the
the
end of your
question
life,
will be,
the
would you be an example, a good example, or you will be a bad warning? At the end of your life, would you be a good example or you will be a bad warning? Don't forget, fools grow up. Fools grow up. The poor will not cease in the land. The question is, must you be among them? 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 The Bible says, "So be a man who is diligent in his job. He shall not stand before mean men, he shall stand before kings." But I want to grow beyond standing before kings. I want to be king so that mean men will stand before me. Thank you. It's an amazing day from this is called Lagos. What do you call this place? This is called
This
Lagos
is called
Avenue
Lagos
in
Avenue in East
Legon,
Legon,
Ghana.
Ghana.
So I
Wow,
say
wow.
So I
welcome.
say
Here to
welcome.
say
Here to say
Aquaba.
Aquaba.
Thanks for listening to
Thanks
me.
for listening to me.
It's an exciting
It's an
day
exciting
as I
day
embark
as
on
I
my
embark
journey
on my
to
journey to
Akotogo.
Akotogo.
Wow.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much,
Thank you.
sir. Aquaba. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for everything you shared there. This is massive. Thank you so much. God bless you. I appreciate this. We will do more together. Thank you for
Thank
always
you.
coming for Thank you. With me. But before you leave, what will be your advice for me before you leave on this journey?
I didn't get that.
I didn't get that.
Before you leave, what will be your advice for me? I want you to make it positive. Your advice.
You want to do what?
You want to do what?
What would be your advice for me? Advice.
Oh, okay. Just make integrity your watchword. Under deliver, under promise, and over
Wow, wow.
deliver. One of the most difficult a difficult skill, virtue, value in the real estate industry today is integrity. Once integrity is your watchword, you will go places. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. I will leave you for now so that you go do your tourism. Thank you. God
Thank you.
bless you.
Yeah. You
Bye for
need
now.
money to see. You need money to see the
Thank
world.
you. Yes. You need money to see the world. Yes. You are correct. Right.
Mm, yeah. You need money to so do.
I really enjoy. Thank you. God bless you. So we enjoyed that. Thank you, sir. Ademuyiwa Ashimolowo. I appreciate you so much. God bless you. You see, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Just be with the right association. Be in the right association with the right set of people. You'll be given information that will change your life. Privileged information is not popular. It's in a low hanging fruit, small cycle. So I'm happy to do this. This is Creation City group launch. So that's why we are hosting this free class for you. I hope you learn something from a story. How a man moved from becoming a university lecturer to a top selling realtor and now a real estate developer. He's building legacy everywhere. Everywhere. He's building legacy. His children will be glad that he lived. He's a great father and husband. Thank you so much for watching. We are coming again for another session. God bless you. And that'll be all for now. Bye.